You've counted every calorie. You've skipped the fries, skipped the wine, skipped the late-night snack you actually wanted. You've hit the gym 3 times this week, maybe 4. You've done everything the diet told you to do, and the scale hasn't moved in 3 weeks. Not a pound. Somewhere inside your body, something is working against you on purpose, right now. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what it is, and exactly how to beat it. Let's set the scene. It's week 4. You're eating less than you ever have. You're logging every single bite, down to the splash of oil in the pan. On paper, the math says you should be down a pound a week, easy, but the number on the scale barely budges, week after week. Sound familiar? Here's the twist nobody tells you. This isn't a discipline problem. It's not a willpower problem. Your body is running an ancient survival program, and it's using at least 4 separate systems right now to fight against the exact thing you're trying to do. So what's actually happening in there? Let's go inside your body and catch the real culprits, red-handed, one by one. Suspect number 1, your own metabolism. In 2016, researchers tracked contestants from a major weight loss show for 6 years after it ended, watching what happened to their bodies long after the cameras stopped rolling. Almost everyone regained the weight, and that part wasn't surprising. But here's what shocked the scientists. Even years later, their bodies were burning around 500 fewer calories a day than their size should predict. Just existing, just breathing, just sitting still, doing nothing at all. Their bodies had permanently turned the engine down. Scientists call it adaptive thermogenesis. Muscle becomes more efficient at using energy. Organs slow down slightly. Even the thyroid, the gland that controls your metabolic rate, quietly dials back its output day after day without ever asking permission. And if that diet skips strength training, some of what disappears isn't fat, it's muscle, the most metabolically expensive tissue in your entire body. Lose enough of it, and your resting metabolism drops twice. Once from adaptation, once from the muscle itself. This isn't your body malfunctioning. It's your body treating calorie restriction like a famine and doing exactly what it evolved to do about it, slowing everything down until the threat passes, the same way it's done for every generation before you. But suspect number 1 isn't working alone. The real conspiracy is hiding inside your hormones, the ones you never even think about, working in the background of every single meal. Fat cells release a hormone called leptin, and its whole job is telling your brain, we have enough energy stored, you can stop eating now. As body fat drops, leptin drops with it, and that fullness signal gets quieter and quieter until it's barely a whisper. At the same time, a hormone called ghrelin, often nicknamed the hunger hormone, starts rising. Studies show it can stay elevated for a year or more after weight loss, long after the diet technically ends. So the hunger isn't in your head, and it isn't a lack of self-control. Your brain is hearing less fullness, and your stomach is shouting louder at the exact moment you're trying to eat less. Here's where it gets stranger. Your body doesn't just slow your engine and turn up your hunger. It quietly steals your movement too, without you ever deciding to move less. Scientists call it NEAT, short for non-exercise activity thermogenesis. Fidgeting, taking the stairs instead of the elevator, standing instead of sitting, even how much you gesture while you talk. Feed people fewer calories, and within days, NEAT drops. They fidget less, they sit more, they unconsciously pick the shorter walk, the closer parking spot, and nobody tells them to. Their nervous system does it automatically in the background to save energy for a shortage that isn't actually coming. In some studies, this quiet, invisible drop in daily movement burns more calories than the occasional cheat meal people usually blame for a stalled diet. And there's one more suspect, and this one has nothing to do with food at all. Cortisol, your stress hormone. Poor sleep, work stress, even the diet itself can keep cortisol elevated longer than it should. Elevated cortisol does 2 things that work directly against you. It pushes your brain toward high-calorie, high-reward comfort food, the kind that's easiest to overeat. And it tells your body to store new fat specifically around your stomach, no matter how few calories you're actually eating that day. A demanding diet can quietly become its own stressor, feeding the exact hormone working against it. And sleep makes every single suspect on this list worse, all at once. Just one night of short sleep pushes ghrelin up and leptin down. The exact same hunger hormone shift caused by the diet itself, except now it's happening on top of it. Less sleep, more hunger, less willpower to resist it, all before you've even had breakfast. Here's the part almost nobody talks about, and it might be the strangest twist of all. In a well-known study, researchers gathered a group of people who swore, hand on heart, that they were diet resistant, eating almost nothing, exercising constantly, and still not losing weight, no matter what they tried. Every one of them was convinced their body was simply different. Instead of trusting their food diaries, the way most weight loss advice does, researchers measured everything directly, using labeled water to track true calorie burn and monitored meals to track true intake. The results were startling. On average, these dieters had underestimated how much they were eating by nearly half, and overestimated their exercise by roughly the same margin. Not by a little, by nearly double in both directions for almost everyone in the study. This wasn't lying, and it wasn't laziness. It was a blind spot built into memory itself, completely invisible to the people living it. The same way it's invisible to almost everyone who's ever said, "I barely eat anything, and I still can't lose weight." Put it all together, a slower metabolism, rising hunger hormones, a quiet drop in movement, worse sleep, and a blind spot in what you think you're eating, and you get what scientists call your set point. A weight range your body defends the same way it defends your temperature, not a number you chose, a number your brain protects on autopilot, using every tool it has, whether you're paying attention or not. And here's the part that explains why the second attempt always feels harder than the first. Every time you diet, lose weight, and regain it, this whole defense system seems to come back a little stronger the next time around. Scientists call it weight cycling. The exact same diet, run twice, on paper looks identical, but your body remembers the last famine, and it's better prepared for this one. So now you know the suspects. The good news? None of this makes weight loss impossible. It just means the standard advice, just eat less, just try harder, is aimed at the wrong target. Here's how to actually fight back. 1. Lift weights, not just cardio. Resistance training protects your muscle while you're in a deficit, which protects your resting metabolism from dropping twice as hard. Even 2 sessions a week makes a measurable difference. 2. Track for real, at least for a few weeks. A kitchen scale and an app close that invisible perception gap fast, and most people are genuinely shocked by what they find, especially in sauces, oils, and drinks. 3. Take a planned diet break every 6 to 8 weeks. Eating at maintenance for a week or 2 lets your hunger hormones and metabolism partially reset, and research suggests it can protect against the worst of the slowdown, without derailing your overall progress. 4. Protect your sleep and manage your stress, because one spiked cortisol day, running on 5 hours of sleep, can undo a week of otherwise perfect eating. And one bonus trick, stop trusting the scale alone. Track your measurements, your energy, and how your clothes fit, because muscle, water, and fat all move that number differently, day to day, and the scale by itself can't tell them apart. A week where the scale stalls but your waistband loosens is still real progress, even when it doesn't feel like it, and even when the number refuses to admit it. So the next time the scale doesn't move, remember, it's not weakness, and it's not a lack of willpower. It's your metabolism, your hormones, your movement, your sleep, and your own blind spots, all working together exactly the way evolution built them to, thousands of years before diet culture ever existed. Now you know exactly why it happens, and exactly how to fight back. If you want to understand more of the hidden systems running your body every single day, hit subscribe, drop a like, and stick around, because next time, we're looking at why that set point keeps creeping higher with every single year of adulthood, even for someone eating exactly the way they always have. We break down one hidden body mystery like this every single week, so you'll never look at your own body the same way again. Until then, stay curious.